In this video, I'll show you how to use the frame technique to make a custom pattern for a derby shoe or any shoe that's closed that you can't open, like you can open a center seam or a wallaby type shoe. This person needs a shoe that is much wider in the ball area of her foot. I'm using the derby patterns from my book, How to Make Ecological Simple Shoes for Women with Your Own Two Hands. So I have the vamp part here that goes over the toe and the heel piece or heel section that I have stitched together at the back of the heel. I've also stitched, just with a little cross stitch here, the location where the heel section crosses over the vamp. A very important thing when we're using the frame technique is, for the heel section, is to add an extra inch all the way around. But you add this so that you could have something to pull on. Once you have the frame in place, then you can pull on this excess upper and get it all lined up nice and smooth. At the heel and at the toe, I've cut some slits. I don't want to cut it so high that it would go above where the feather edge or the bottom edge of the foot would be. It does help it lay down more flat. I don't stitch here until I find out where this lays when it's over this wider last. And I've punched the holes for the lace to go in and added a lace there so that this shoe is ready for the frame. If this were a real person's foot instead of a last, I would first put this frame up the person's leg and then drape the mock-up over the person's foot. Then I would bring the frame down I've now brought the frame down over the upper part of the mock-up, and these points are very important, that the seam between the vamp and the heel section is at the halfway point. This is the way my patterns are designed, and where the center of the toe mark lines up with this, in this case, this green mark up here. So I've got it all lined up, and I've got to check the back of the heel too. It might, if it's a little baggy back here, then I would put a little clamp so that I would stitch it later to the actual seam. Now that I have everything lined up, I'm ready to make some decisions. And one is that this seam here, that's where it goes. And the same on the inside of the shoe. And I'll be marking this bottom line where the upper meets the frame. So I'll make that line all around. And then I bring up these stitch marks. And then when I make the leather shoe, I will make holes and stitch the upper to the sole that will have these corresponding stitch marks made using the frame, and the shoe should go together quite nicely. After looking at the mock-up, I made a couple of other changes to it, so you should look for things like this as well. The parts of the heel section where the shoelaces have holes was too close together. They were almost meeting, and if a person's usually wears socks but then goes barefoot, it might be that they'd be so close together that the shoe wouldn't really be stable across the instep. So you need a little space here for the foot to shrink or expand. And also the tongue was high. This on the last, this is about the right, this is the right place for the tongue, and it was about a half an inch longer than that. So I cut that off, and then when I had a look at the whole thing, I thought, we're ready to go with it.